According to the national survey performed by the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, over 50% of college students drank alcohol, and over one-third binge drank. The first article I read from the Journal of Alcohol and Drug Education focuses on the opinions of college students on their binge drinking tendencies. Ryan Pruitt conducted the study on a college campus and attained voluntary participants. The participants were then surveyed on their thoughts on if binge drinking is a problem among college students, while also being asked questions to classify if they themselves were a binge drinker or not. Ryan Pruitt discovered that almost all the students who answered their survey justified their drinking habits by explaining that their peers partook in the behavior more than they did. They also inferred from the answers that Bandora's concept of modeling was illustrated by the participants who answered they drank just because their peers did it. The article also concluded that peer pressure is expected from peers in college, but it was not considered a problem by the peers. The second article I read's main focus is on social influences and pressures and what type of influence, whether active or passive, was the leading cause of alcohol use in college students. To test this experiment, Wood and his colleagues conducted the survey on college students because they are considered the heavy drinking population. They also tested the hypothesis that with more social influences, there would be more alcohol usage by asking questions to the participants. They discovered that their hypothesis was correct, and there was a positive correlation between increased social modeling and alcohol usage. The study also showed that perceived norms had an influence in alcohol use, but not with alcohol problems. The researchers altogether concluded from the answers of the participants that social modeling had the strongest effect in alcohol usage and problems. Social norms, I believe, are fueled by peer pressure, and peer pressure is fueled by people not willing to speak up. I think the only way to stop peer pressure is by standing your ground and not caring what people will think about you. I think as a college student, we are surrounded by social norms, and peer pressure is evident everywhere, especially if you're over 21 and you go out to the bars with your friends and they want to take shots or chug their drinks. The best way to stay out of these situations if you're uncomfortable is by saying no, and be persistent with saying no. And from personal experience, it does work. Eventually they will stop asking, and they'll understand your stance on the situation. And I think that is the best way to stay out of, to not be affected by peer pressure.